Welcome to Deep Tale Studio, where every journey into the dark hides a story that refuses to stay buried. The rain had just started when Ethan reached the station. It wasn't heavy, just enough to turn the ground slick and reflective under the flickering yellow lights. The digital board above platform blinked twice before settling on the final message. Last train departed. Ethan sighed in frustration, running a hand through his damp hair. He had stayed late at work again, and now he was stranded. The station was nearly empty, with only the distant hum of electricity and the occasional drip of rain echoing through the silence. He checked his phone, no signal. Perfect. Muttering under his breath, he walked along the platform, hoping maybe there was a late train. That's when he noticed something strange. At the far end of the station, beyond the dim lights, there was another platform. The sign above it was barely visible, but as lightning briefly lit up the sky, he saw it clearly. Platform 13. He frowned. That's weird, he whispered. He had used this station for years and had never seen a platform 13 before. Curiosity slowly replaced his frustration. With nothing else to do, he stepped off platform 4 and walked toward it. The air felt colder as he approached, and the lights above platform 13 flickered weakly, casting long, unnatural shadows. The place looked abandoned, cracked tiles, peeling paint, and old posters half torn. Yet, standing silently on the tracks was a train. It looked much older than the modern trains. Its metal body was dull and worn, and its windows were dark, almost black. The doors were open, but no one was getting in or out. Ethan hesitated. Something about the scene felt wrong. Maybe it's a special train, he muttered, trying to convince himself. Taking a deep breath, he stepped inside. The moment he entered, a chill ran down his spine. The interior was dimly lit, with faint yellow lights that buzzed softly overhead. Passengers filled the seats, but none of them moved. They sat perfectly still, facing forward, their expressions blank. Ethan swallowed nervously and walked down the aisle. "Excuse me," he said softly to a man sitting by the window. The man didn't respond. Ethan waved his hand in front of his face. Nothing. His heartbeat quickened. They were all the same, silent, motionless, staring ahead. Trying to ignore the growing unease, Ethan found an empty seat and sat down. "It's just weird," he whispered to himself. The doors suddenly slammed shut with a loud metallic bang, making him jump. Without warning, the train began to move. Ethan looked out, expecting to see the city lights, but instead, there was nothing, just endless blackness. The train moved through a void. A crackling sound filled the air as the overhead speaker came to life. A distorted voice echoed, "Next stop, final destination." The sentence cut off abruptly, replaced by static. Ethan frowned. "Final destination," he repeated under his breath. Minutes passed. The train didn't slow down. It just kept moving, endlessly. The passengers remained completely still. Ethan felt a deep sense of dread. He noticed something strange in the hands of the passengers. Each one of them was holding a small piece of paper train ticket. He leaned forward and gently pulled the ticket from the man sitting next to him. On it was printed a date. Ethan's breath caught in his throat. The date was from 10 years ago. Confused, he grabbed another ticket. 5 years ago. His hands began to shake. Every ticket had a different date, but all of them were in the past. Slowly, Ethan reached into his own pocket. He didn't remember receiving a ticket, but somehow, there it was. His heart stopped. The date printed on his ticket was tomorrow. A cold wave of realization washed over him. This wasn't a normal train. These weren't normal passengers. The people sitting around him weren't alive. They were people who had died. And this train had carried them on their final journey, and now it had come for him. No, no, this isn't real, Ethan whispered, shaking his head. He stood up abruptly, stumbling toward the door. Let me out. The train didn't slow down. The darkness outside remained unchanged. The voice on the speaker returned, louder this time. Next stop, your end. The passengers' heads slowly turned toward him in perfect unison. For the first time, they moved. Their eyes were empty, lifeless. Ethan froze in terror. A faint smile spread across their faces, cold, unnatural, and terrifying. When the lights snapped back on, the passengers were standing. All of them, slowly, they began to step into the aisle. Ethan backed away, his breath coming in sharp gasps. Stay back, he yelled, but his voice sounded small and powerless. The train continued to race into the void. Ethan realized the horrifying truth: no one who boarded it ever came back. Subscribe to Deep Tales Studio, because some journeys don't end when you reach your destination.